We've all heard the overnight success story. These businesses that go from making small sales to making tens of thousands of dollars overnight. And in this video, I'll go over one of the craziest success stories you'll ever see. I'll be pulling back the curtains and showing you how we scaled Patrick from $5K to over $40,000 per month in just a span of 30 days with his Amazon FBA coaching offer. Get your notepad out because we're gonna give you the exact roadmap that he took so you can do the same for your own business. And just before we get in, my name is Sui. I've been scaling info for the last 3 years now. I started when I was 16. And I've been able to scale multiple coaches and business owners from zero all the way to 50K, 60K, 70K per month. I've worked with creators that have hundreds of thousands of followers and generated over 7 figures for all of my clients combined. I started a brand new coaching business 90 days ago and we just hit 31.4K per month with the exact roadmap I'm about to give you. So make sure you're paying attention. So the first thing we did before we even touched his entire funnel and everything was we changed up his offer, okay? The biggest problem that I see coaches face is that they charge too little and they don't charge for a premium price. And that makes everything harder. It makes it extremely hard to scale. So the first thing we did was we restructured his offer completely. And he went from charging $750 to over $4,000. And the way that we did this was with these 3 different things. We built him out an offer sheet because it's hard for you to explain all the details and all the little things that you're selling. And so the first thing we did was we built out an offer sheet that went over what he provided, how they got the coaching, and what bonuses he had, and then we also added in a guarantee, okay? So this is obviously not his, this is gonna be mine. I'm not gonna show his for privacy reasons, but building out an offer sheet showed his clients what value he was really providing to the table. The second thing we did was we created a guarantee. Now, the guarantee that we created was an average of the results that his clients got in the first 3 months of the program. So his clients on average made around 5K a month after 3 months of starting their FBA business. So our guarantee was, if you don't make 5K a month in the span of 90 days of working together, then I'll give you a full refund and send you $1,000 on top. This shows extreme confidence in his service, and that's what allows him to charge 4K because in 3 months, you're gonna be making like 5K a month. That's a great ROI, literally. And after that, you keep on making 5K a month. So we got the average of the results that his clients were getting. We made that a guarantee. And then we sold 2 types of offers. One of them was the group offer, which is scalable, which you can sell over and over and over again. That's the offer that you sell to the mass market. And then we sold the one-on-one, which is more premium, and it was more for the people that actually had a ton of money to invest. So the group offer was priced at 4K. The one-on-one offer was priced at 6K. And we targeted everyone to the group offer because Patrick had limiting beliefs that he couldn't charge that much. So we charged 4K. And the great part about it, of this entire offer, is that it didn't require more work. He was selling video modules, group coaching, and a bunch of bonuses and a bunch of, stuff in his program that didn't require extra work on his end. And that was the scalable model. And then occasionally when he met a whale, he would sell the 6K. But in the first month of us scaling up, when he hit that 40K month, we only sold the group offer. Now, the second thing we did was we created an upsell for his existing clients. Patrick had over 100 clients that paid him £750 for his coaching. And I told him like, hey, there's gonna be guys that paid $750 are super satisfied with your service, so let's upsell a ton of them. And so we came up with a sticky 3K per month retainer to help his clients buy stock in Amazon FBA. And what this allowed us to do is we increased the LTV of existing clients by $3,000 on the back end. And the craziest part was we restructured his offer and we created an entire new upsell in an hour call. Okay, so we did it in a one-on-one, 1 hour call. And before we even implemented any of these acquisition strategies that you're looking for, we increased the client LTV by 7 times. His average LTV went from $750 to over $5,500. And this makes the entire scaling process way easier because now when we sign a new client, we can make an average of 5.5K compared to $750. So before you even look at the acquisition funnel and your strategies and everything, are you charging the right price? Are you getting the most out of your clients? Are you getting your clients to keep on paying you? You need to answer that question for yourself because if you don't increase your client LTV and your client LTV is below $5,000, then you're gonna have a really hard time scaling because eventually we're gonna run paid ads and we're gonna reinvest back into the business, and you need to have profit to play with so that you can dump back into the business and scale faster. I'm about to show you that kind of process later on. But you need to have an LTV of above 5,000, okay? One of the easiest ways you can do that is list down every single problem your client can face when they are trying to achieve their goal. So if you're selling a biz op like, Patrick is, what is stopping them from making 5K a month with Amazon FBA? It's the buying the products, it's setting up the store, it's getting tax credit, or whatever problems they might face, list down every single one and then provide 2 to 3 solutions to each problem, and then create a offer sheet that looks like this, where it's super, dialed in and it looks super good, and you can really show the value that you're providing. And all of these deliverables and all of these things that I'm listing out are solving each problem that these clients can potentially face. When you're pitching your product and everything on the call, they don't have a lot of objections because they say, oh, what if I face this problem? You already covered it here. Oh, what if I face this other problem? Okay, I already covered it here. So you get the idea. When you fully understand your client's problems that they're going to face throughout the entire process, then you can create an offer sheet that solves every single problem step by step. Now, this is all about the offer, and honestly, as important as the offer is, it won't work if you don't have back-end systems to support the business, okay? So another problem that Patrick faced was he had no systems. He had no systems, there was zero tracking, and I mean zero. He had a Calendly, and that's about it, okay? And there was no CRM, there was no websites, there was nothing. And so what we did was we built him a centralized CRM on Go High Level to track leads, and we created a bunch of websites that were pre-built for him. And so no leads fell through the crack. We automated certain tasks like onboarding, email sequence, all that good stuff. And then we gave him SOPs for his VA to be able to create it for him as well. And so again, you need to have a pipeline where you can see where your clients are. So how many prospects are booked? How many prospects are closed? How many prospects no-showed? How many prospects didn't close? Because the truth is, not everyone is going to close on the first time. Maybe it's not the right timing, or maybe they don't have the right funds. But a lot of times, coaches forget about that. You can't forget about it, and you need to have a CRM to basically track. And if someone no-shows, then boom, I'm going to put them in this channel right here. And in 3 months, I'm going to get a reminder on GHL to follow up with that person. And that person is going to get an automatic sequence, an email sequence, to book in another call with us. And so a lot of the times, I don't close certain people, but then 3 months down the line, I see the same person that booked with me 3 months ago booking a call again. And it's because of the email sequence that I built out, and because I put them in the no-show or the no-close opportunity. And so you don't want to forget about the people that don't close, because those guys are still going to pay you money. It's just a matter of timing and finances, right? So building out this pipeline for Patrick was super, super important. We also built out a bunch of workflows where if someone canceled, this is the automation that they get. If someone booked in a call, this is the pre-call nurturing sequence that they get. If someone no-showed, this is what they get, lead magnet, etc., right? And then we also gave him a tracker so that he could actually track everything in his business. I'm obviously not going to show Patrick's sheet, but this is a example sheet that I'll show you, right? You need to track how much people are joining your free group, how many people you're reaching out to, how many convos you're having, how many book calls you're having. And when you have all these systems in place, then it makes it easier. And the cool part about this entire sheet is that we can actually see what bottlenecks we're facing, because the sheet already does it for us, okay? And you need to be able to track every type of lead and everything, and every type of KPI, because you don't want to pinpoint the problems yourself. You want the numbers to do it for you. You want the numbers to give you the bottleneck so that you can solve it with, your skills and everything, okay? So don't guess what your bottleneck is. Track the numbers, and the numbers will tell you what your bottleneck is. All right, so it's getting dark, so I had to turn the lights on. Now we're gonna go over what actually made him 8x his business in 30 days. He went from 5K to 40K, that's an 8x, literally, okay? So the first thing we did was the cash injection campaign, and this is what we did step by step. We revived all the past leads, okay? We looked back at who didn't close, and we revived each conversation, okay? Because each of these guys could now pay us $5.5 thousand. So you can't lose out on a single lead now, okay? Because that's big money. So we revived every single lead. We gave him the script, the follow-up sequence and everything to reach out to all of these guys. He found their numbers. He didn't have a CRM, so he had to find their numbers manually. He texted everyone with our sequence, and we booked them a ton of calls because he never did it before. And then we ran a story strategy. We ran a 7-day story strategy with a CTA, value, personal story, personal life stuff, and a bunch of story sequences to re-engage his IG audience and to get some people in the DMs and book some calls, again, with our setting scripts. And this alone led to 14 calls in the first 3 days, okay? Because he never done it before. So 14 calls in the first 3 days, then we optimized his funnel, we made everything look good, and we upsold his existing clients. And these guys already had pre-built trust. We upsold everyone into his 3K per month retainer. And the best part was this is MRR. So these guys are gonna keep on paying over time. It's not just a one-time thing. So Patrick made around 20K with this cash injection campaign, literally within the first 7 days. I'll show you the screenshot. I'll put it up right now. Some insane stat. He got tons of payments and everything. And the entire goal with this cash injection campaign is to get as much money coming in and sign new clients So obviously you just show Patrick that we know what we're doing, but also to get enough money to run ads down the line. Patrick invested in us. We didn't want him to spend more money without receiving money. So we made him money first. We were going to take some of that profit and then we're going to reinvest it back into ads. And this cash injection campaign just kind of shows him that we really know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So once we got past that, we moved on to the middle of funnel. Now, a problem we were facing was Patrick had no idea why people weren't converting. We got him to understand what a proper funnel looks like because a lot of you are struggling with the same thing. The simplest way to explain a funnel is a bucket, okay? A bucket, and the water that you're pouring in is the leads, and then the bucket is like, how many sales you're getting and everything. A lot of you have too many holes in your bucket. And so when you get leads and you get attention or you run paid ads, it doesn't work because there's too many holes. All the leads spill out and it's just a whole mess because you don't have a proper funnel. And what we did was we mapped out his funnel, and this is what his funnel looked like before working with us. Prospects found his account, they dropped him a follow, they watched a few reels, they watched a few stories, they might go watch a YouTube video, and that's it. And I told them like, hey, the reason why you're not converting is because your funnel looks like this. It's dog shit. This is what a proper funnel looks like, okay? A prospect finds my account, drops me a follow, and my setter reaches out, says, hey, what type of content you're looking for? Maybe I get ignored. If I get ignored, then guess what? They're gonna keep on watching the stories. And because I'm being consistent on my stories, they're being bombarded with the proof, case studies, results, personal aspect, everything. And then they're gonna watch the reels. Some of those reels I have a freebie post, and so I'm like, comment this keyword and I'll send you this. They comment on it. The ManyChat sends the resource, obviously, and then my setter continues the conversation and says, by the way, I have more resources on, this, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you want me to send it over. We continue that conversation again, second time, and then again, nurtured by client results because of the stories. And then eventually they're going to be like, what is this guy doing? Because of, again, all the social proof and all the stories. Then they're going to check out the opt-in page. And then they're going to give us our first name, email, and phone number. And then they're going to come across my landing page, right? And then they're going to have an opportunity to book in a call. So this is the funnel that I was showing Patrick that he needs to create for himself if he wants to, build a funnel or build a bucket that has no holes in it. And the third touch point is my setter reaches out via SMS. And because we already got their email, they're going to get an immediate welcome sequence via email. This is the fourth touch point. They're constantly being nurtured by the emails now since we send out daily emails. And then they also have CTAs in the emails to watch the YouTube videos. Now they're watching YouTube. There's a huge perspective on how they look at scaling their offer. They watch more YouTube, they watch more stories, they read more emails, they keep talking to my setter, and eventually they're going to be nurtured enough to book in a call and work with me. So I showed Patrick this funnel, and now he understood, okay, my funnel is shit. My funnel looks like this. I need to build out all of these systems and everything. And a lot of the stuff that we did for him was done for you, okay? So we built out like maybe half of the stuff for him, and yeah, we just helped him scale up that way, and that's kind of how everything looked like. So the first thing that Patrick didn't do was he wasn't posting consistently. He was posting here and there and everything. And so the first thing that we fixed was we wanted to get him to post reels and stories consistently, and this led to more inbounds. And the key here is not to just post tips and tricks. The key here is to create reels that really target his market's pain points. And when you're able to do that, you're able to create reels that really resonate and generate inbound leads coming to Patrick, right? And so the key here, again, the reason why we did this first is because it leads back to the funnel. One of the first things that happen is they watch reels when they follow you, right? And so if you're posting stories and you're posting reels, then guess what? People are watching you, people are consuming your content, like they're more warm to you when you reach out to them and everything. So that's the first thing that we worked on. And, I personally do this all the time. I've been posting reels for so long now, and I generate really, really good results with it. So that's the second thing that we did in this middle funnel. Now, the third thing we did, once we started posting reels and once we started getting in his ICP's face, was we started outreaching to followers. Now, he had to do this temporarily, obviously, because he didn't have a setter off the bat. Hiring a setter takes a decent amount of time. And so I told him, hey, I'm going to build out the DM scripts and structures for you. So we built out every single script you can think of: inbound, outbound, post booking, freebie, inbound ads, every type of script for every type of lead. And what we told him to do is, okay, use different scripts for different leads. And so the hottest leads that were liking his stories, viewing his content, we used the outbound script. The hottest leads that were commenting keywords and wanting a freebie, we used the freebie script. And he used the appointment setting framework to book in a ton of calls. And I kid you not, I think he booked like 7 calls in one day, some crazy stat like that with our scripts and everything. And that's what happens when you have a setting framework and you have good content that you're putting out. The key here is not to use copy and paste scripts and everything, is to really understand how to connect with them on a personal level and how to use the right framework to frame yourself as the authority in the conversation and get them to want to book with you, not for you to plead them to book in a call. You have to be the person that attracts these leads to you. And the way that you present yourself in the conversations in your DMs is super important, because that's also how likely your prospect is to buy from you in your sales call. So if you present yourself the right way, you attract in your DMs and you get someone to ask, how are you doing this? Then boom, you got it. And so what Patrick was used to doing is he was like, hey, do you want to learn more about Amazon FBA? And then just kind of being needy in the DMs. What we did was we flipped the script. An example of this is somewhere in the conversation that Patrick had with his prospect, he would drop a sly message where it's like, yeah, I just made 20K last month, bro. How about you? Now, obviously not in that douchebag of a way, but he would mention an achievement that he made that got the prospect on the other side to ask, how did you do that? And when they ask how, then we got them. Then we send them, like this reel or consume this freebie, and you get them more warm, and then they're like, yo, I want to learn more. Let's book in a call. So we were the people that were attracting these leads to us by the way that we set these guys. So we didn't sit in a pushy way and just ask, like, hey, do you want to learn more? We attracted them with these type of strategies, all right? Now, once we started booking calls, we wanted to build out a VSL. And so we built out a VSL based on market research. And the thing that helped Patrick out the most was this pre-sold everyone on the solution and the process that Patrick had. So Patrick actually has a really, really good Amazon FBA coaching offer, which is 90% of why this all works. If you don't have a good offer, I can do all of this for you and we can work on this together, but none of it will work, right? It all starts with a really, really good foundation offer. And we gave him the framework to build out a VSL. He built it out, and basically before every lead hopped on a call with Patrick, he sent that VSL, and the VSL did all the selling for him. It told the leads about Patrick's life story, how he grew up, how he came across Amazon FBA, the process of starting a FBA account, how to make 5K a month, everything. It sold the leads on two things: Patrick as a person and the process to make 5K per month with Amazon FBA. That's what the VSL is doing. We gave them frameworks, and trust me when I say this, these guys were pre-sold when they hopped on these calls. They were pre-sold, and Patrick didn't really have to do crazy selling because they already sold themselves with the VSL, with the way that we kind of set them in the DMs, with the content that we were putting on stories and reels and everything. So now everything is just a flywheel and everything is just so much easier now. Now in the VSL, what we did to actually make it really, really effective is we wrote down every single possible objection that could come in the prospect's mind, right? So what objections do they have when it comes to Amazon FBA? What objections do they have when it comes to working with Patrick? What objections do they have in general? And we wrote down every single objection they could possibly think of. And the goal of the VSL that we filmed with Patrick was to break every single limiting belief, every single objection before they hopped on the call. So when they hopped on the call and they heard the product and they heard the price and everything, when they tried to come up with objections in their head, they couldn't. Why? Because the VSL solved everything and all the objections they could possibly think of. The VSL should pre-sell all of your prospects, and that's what the VSL does. So this is what the first 30 days kind of look like. And again, he achieved 40K. So I'd say it's a pretty successful first 30 days. And this is what we're going to work on in the future. Because we've made 40K, we've literally 8x his business like in span of 30 days. We're going to be running paid ads very, very soon, because now he has the profit from the cash injection, from all the strategies that we implemented and everything, right? We're going to run paid ads. We're also going to hire a setter to do the outbound for him. Right now, Patrick's a one-man show, and because he was only making 5K a month, but now that he's already making multiple 5 figures, we're going to hire his first setter for him, train him up, do everything, and really get a lot of work off of his plate, because now he's setting appointments and everything. But if we can get a setter that's fully trained up, that knows the scripts, that knows the SOPs, and is really qualified to just manage the entire DMs and take something off of his plate, that's going to save Patrick a ton of time, and also get him to work on better content, keep on killing in the sales calls, do more market research, and the more important things that will move the needle in his business. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to build out his email list with him. We're going to sort everything out on GHL now that he already has a CRM, and we're going to work on 1 or 2 emails every single day, and that just send out. And so now we're hitting all 4 spots. We're hitting email, we're hitting Instagram, we're hitting SMS, and we're hitting YouTube. Okay, these are the 4 things that are key to a really, really dialed in funnel, like I showed you in that 25-step process that I was talking about earlier on. And so I want to recap what actually led to success, because this video is very, very in-depth, go through a lot of stuff. The 4 things that led to a success was one-on-one calls, step-by-step blueprint, done-for-you systems, and work ethic. One-on-one calls do wonders. One-on-one calls will do wonders for you, especially if you already kind of have a solid foundation. okay? Because it's very, very rare that you can get genuine help from a group coaching program unless everyone is the exact same in the exact same situation and has the exact same context and everything. I don't believe in group calls. And that's why we ran like, I think 5-7 one-on-ones in the first month of working together. That's why I achieved these results. He got personalized advice from me, and the fact that I've done it for not just Amazon FBA, but for a ton of BizOp offers, I knew exactly what he needed to do, and I told him, and he executed, and that's why he achieved this result. We also gave him a step-by-step blueprint to execute on everything, and gave him complete clarity on what to work on. This is an example of a roadmap that I give a client in the program, and when you have clarity and a step-by-step blueprint on what to work on every single phase, then there's no way that you fail. Because truly, scaling up a business is complicated, but when you have this at your disposal and you know what you need to work on in each phase and you know what to focus on and everything, then it's very, very hard to fail. And so a lot of the times, it's not that that you don't have the strategies or everything, you just don't have the clarity. You don't know what's more important and you don't know what you need to work on first. And so when we gave Patrick this roadmap, it gave him so much clarity on what to work on. He could just focus in on one aspect in his business, dial that in, then move into the next one, then move into the next one. And this blueprint really, really did help him. The third thing was done for you systems and processes. It's hard to do everything. It's hard for me to like give you everything and then for Patrick to do all that stuff. And so a lot of the things that we did was done for you. And so if Patrick wanted to see the same success he did when he was booking appointments, he would have had to write out his own inbound, outbound script and everything. And he didn't have a lot of appointment setting experience, so he didn't know what goes into it. And so part of why he succeeded so well is because we had so many done-for-you systems. We wrote out his scripts for him, right? We gave him a done-for-you template for the VSL. We gave him an entire centralized CRM for him to be able to scale up and actually track all of his leads and everything. We gave him step-by-step consulting on the entire offer so he could actually charge more. And so a lot of these stuff are done for you, right? It's one-on-one plus done for you that led to all of his success so that he didn't have to spend all time learning everything. We just did it for him. And the last thing that led to his 40K month was his work ethic. Guys, 5K to 40K in 30 days is not easy. No matter how good the systems are and everything, like Patrick is a workhorse. And I need you to understand that. If he didn't work hard, he probably would have made 7K, 10K, you know, with all this stuff. Maybe he would have made more, but I'm saying like, a lot of his success was from his work ethic, and he is one of the hardest workers I know, and that's why he achieved such insane results in what seems to be overnight in nearly 30 days, which is insane, and 8x. And this is not normal for like when clients join my program, like this is not normal. And I never say like, oh, you can be like Patrick. No, Patrick's like one of a kind, you know. And you need to understand that what led to his success was all of this stuff, but also the fact that he was willing to put in the work and just listen, put his ego aside, listen to everything and just take action, relentless action. And he did everything that we asked of him, and the result was beyond crazy, honestly. Make sure you guys follow Patrick because he deserves all the success in the world, and he's one of my favorite clients to work with. And honestly, he's one of the hardest workers I know, which is why he's been able to succeed at such a fast pace, okay? If you guys want to achieve a similar transformation to Patrick and you want to get some of the one-on-one and done-for-you systems that Patrick got to be able to achieve this crazy growth from 5K to 40K, then feel free to book in a call with us down below. It's free, like there's no pressure, I don't sell. It's actually with me personally. I think I have like 5 spots left in the calendar for next week. So if you're actually serious about booking in a time, feel free to go down below and book in a one-on-one time with me. I'd love to speak to you guys and see if I can help. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.